James, we hope to get the final quarter started this weekend against FC Edinburgh. Last weekend's match against Peterhead was postponed. It's now been rearranged for Tuesday the 11th of April, but we'll be fully focused on FC Edinburgh this weekend.
Yeah, look, as a staff and a group of players and collectively we're all used to games being called off. It doesn't happen too often, but over the last couple of years with COVID being about, it was quite frequent. There were games off or you weren't sure if you were playing. So no, look, we trained on Saturday. The players had Sunday off, and then obviously we had the reserve game this week, which gave us a chance to get players playing that might have played on Saturday, or ones that, like Paul Allen, coming back from injury. So no, like, there's no problem with that. You just move on to the next game, and that's FC Edinburgh here.
It'll be a tough match. 2 out of the 3 so far have finished 1-0, but from our point of view, we've been able to get the better of them all 3 times so far this campaign, and we'll be hoping to make it a full house this weekend.
Yeah, look, credit to Alan and Mark Kerr for the job they've done at FC Edinburgh, obviously getting promoted, and then I think in 2 of those games they could have overtook us and went top of the league. So it just shows how well they've done this season, and they're in 3rd place at the minute. They're fighting for a playoff spot, and they'll be coming here to get back on track. They had a couple of good results before the Alloa game last weekend, which would have disappointed them, particularly being at home. So they'll be coming here, and they were excellent when they did come here. This was probably the toughest out of the 3 games, was the game here, which we won 1-0 from an own goal from the Sam Fisher cross. So it's a really tough game. Obviously we've got our fight to try and get 3 points at home again, and they've got theirs to get back on track after a defeat and try and cement that playoff place. So we know what to expect, we know how hard it's going to be, and we need to be at it.
As you mentioned already, the Reserve Cup semi-final was on Tuesday, and you must have been really pleased not just to get vital minutes for first-team players in that match, but also the professionalism they showed in their performance, and ultimately the result as well.
Yeah, look, first and foremost, I think the important thing was the result. You get to a semi-final, it doesn't matter what level, but when you look at it from the club's point of view, and Monty and Greg Shields' point of view, they were taking the team, and then for the young kids to experience playing in a semi-final, now the chance to play in a final, regardless of what level it is, that is a step up from under-18 football, and they've equipped and handled it really well, the younger ones, from playing a very experienced Dundee United team here in the group, winning that game on penalties, where we were pretty young on the day, and to navigate their way through the group and then go and win the semi-finals, fantastic for their development as young professionals and what they're trying to do. And then the senior ones going down, they've been like that, I think, in every game. We've always had senior players playing. Where in Scotland we don't have 46 league games like you do in some leagues in England. You're playing Saturday, Tuesday every week, so I feel these games are really beneficial for your squad when the squad is pretty thick and healthy. So with the game being off, it allowed us to play another couple as well. Like say Kevin, who was due to play against Peterhead, and the game being called off, it allowed him 60 minutes, Todorov 60 minutes, McCann 60 minutes, and then to get 90 minutes for Paul McGowan and Paul Allen was brilliant. Paul McGowan needed it, Paul Allen certainly did need it after, I think that was his first start of any game since Edinburgh away, almost 7 months ago. So, and you and Otto getting minutes as well, along with Max and goal. So it was a good mix, a good blend of youth and experience, but the attitude was great, as we'd expect it to be. We'll not settle for anything less, but sometimes it can be pretty difficult when you're putting senior players to a reserve game. But with this group, they train that way, they play that way, whether it's reserves or first team, so credit to them. But I think most of the credit goes to Shieldsy, to Monty and the younger kids for the reserve campaign so far.
And in terms of team news, is Aaron Comrie okay for this weekend?
Yeah, Aaron's fine now. The stitches are out and he's back training, and Joe will hopefully be okay as well. So I think this will be the first weekend that we've got a full squad to select from this season, which is good.
And it's, as always, this season been a positive vibe around the stadium, around the club, and you'll be hoping to continue that this weekend with another victory.
Yeah, the fans have been fantastic. it is a good place to be working. It's a good place to be playing football, particularly in front of that crowd. The last 2 home games, we were backed by a fantastic crowd in both games, and yeah, the Falkirk game we had a bigger crowd and the atmosphere that night was electric. But even on the Saturday against Alloa, the fans were right behind us and they kept us going. At times when Alloa were coming out of the game, we're going to need them again this weekend. But when you go back to it, it's down to the players and the hard work they do. As I say, the fans can relate to this team, I think, when they see them turning up and giving absolutely everything they've got for the 95 minutes or whatever it may be on the Saturday or the Tuesday night. So we continue to do that, the fans will continue to back us.